What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So what we're going to get today is, you already see us right here. You see it right now. You see it. You're like, PvP? Uh, where are the horsies? Where are the we don't have any.
Why are we
Wait,
midgets?
we don't have any horsies, PvP. Where are they at? Alright, well, let's go ahead. Let's just dive into what's been happening since we are now the short folk. We are now in the short folk territory. The boys are all here. We got them. What happened, PvP? What happened to get us to the short folk people? So,
So,
go ahead.
yeah,
Go ahead.
so we were. I'm in a lot of different chats. We got chat groups with Gondor. We've got a chat group with some of the big alliances, our alliance, and there was another one, Rohan. That they're the big ones, and so I'm in all these little groups, and we are seeing a lot of communication going around, and a lot of it's just misleading. Some people are saying they have deals with Gundor, and they were, and they weren't officers, um, and that was kind of the what kind of started what happened that morning when I just started asking questions, and a lot of stuff was being directed towards IPVP, and I was like, some of that stuff I needed to be aware of, and I'm painting this picture that they were not prepared. They don't really know the game.
Yeah,
Guys, we've been playing this game, this type of game, I should say. I
like 5
see
years.
for 5 years, and now we're going on 3 months, 4 months of this game. So to say we've been around the block would be an understatement. We need the leaders, the officers, they all need to be on the same page. And from what I was seeing, there was a lot of misinformation, a lot of things that weren't being fed properly. And then I started talking to the leader, and one thing I was trying to push this
Leader of
whole
what
time
faction, mind you? Leader of
of
what
of
faction?
of Rohan,
Yeah. So the
um,
other, so EO or whatever there was. Yeah.
EOHS, and I'm not
Yes.
going to even try to pronounce what it says. It's Spanish, and I don't know how to speak Spanish. so, but so we're communicating, and I'm just trying to get on the same page with them, and we are going back and forth about merging, and because my thing is we need to merge because power is a good indicator of activity, of how active, or how dedicated, I should say, your player base is. Because
Yeah.
if you have somebody that has you're on day 4, and you've got somebody that's got 1,000 power production, and
They're
um,
supposedly leading a clan.
yeah, they're you just can't take them seriously. And they just need to stop what they're doing. They're not directing their people the way that it needs to be going. Numbers is a factor here. I'm not just going to completely go to the wayside on that factor. We didn't have the biggest numbers, and we had to work with what we had. And the best move at that time was to merge, to just get all of our best players into one alliance, because I, there are basics to keeping things in the same alliance that you can't have when they're separate. When you guard, if I own a tile in one alliance, and right next to it is my other alliance that's in the same faction as me, and I guard on my tile, it does not go over. It does not extend over onto that person's tile, and that's really big when you're talking about in a war situation where you're talking about on the big front, and that's one less guard, times however many people are on the battlefield, that really could make a difference. And it's little things like this, like even when you take a 35, right? When you take a 35, that's bonus resources for the whole alliance, and there's no reason why you should have everything split. And they even talked about pincer attacks. I'm like, listen, guys, this can all be done from one alliance. There's no reason for you guys to be split. Because we were 60 out of 90.
Yeah,
We
that's with
had
kicking.
spots.
That's with kicking like sub 25 players, like that were
Yeah,
at like beneath 1,000.
And we
So
were about to kick more. We were
yeah,
about to kick more because there was just for everybody out there that needs to know how to spy on somebody. If you have less than 100 influence, but you were on within the last 12 hours, we can see that. Just an FYI, we know you're a spy, so you get kicked almost instantly.
yeah. I mean,
Okay,
I saw anyone that was
that
beneath
is the
100, I was
worst
just
way.
kicking them. Like I was like, dude, like there's just, and then you had to change it to invite only, but there weren't
Yeah,
enough players to sustain the game or the faction. Like there's none. Like there was if you even
yeah.
just go to the ranking boards and look at fellowship production, they're at 283. KMN is at 313. There's almost no difference. But hey, look at their second faction, 210. So in reality, they're up there at 550, nearly. You know, if you look at Gondor, 200, 176, and then they're also at 46. So it looks like they actually
Yeah,
got
so
someone to merge. They got
the
someone to
power
merge.
wasn't there. But to wrap things up though, I started talking to them throughout all this, and he made the comment of because I was making the argument that we need to merge because there's a lot of people that are stronger than us, and he made the comment that, and this is in the movies, but when Theoden had 300 people, he didn't back down from the Mordor's thousand people, thousand orcs that battled him. I think he was referencing Helm's Deep.
Yeah, like
Um,
Isengard fighting him or whatever. It
yeah,
was
and at
I
that point, I knew he wasn't taking this seriously. And that was really the breaking point. That was the
like
last
guys. I
straw.
know this sounds odd that you're like these guys are hardcore. I'm sorry. If you want to role play, go to the role play server. I just
That
go
seems
ahead.
like the most
Like
appropriate place for that.
there's like I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but I'm serious when I
You
play
mean
it and
roleplay on a
whenever
roleplay server?
yeah, I was
No.
serious whenever I said, guys, you have to look out for the betterment of your faction as a whole. And whenever I see, I was infuriated, and I was typing in all caps, like, dude, like, so the big thing was y'all see this keep, that's on my map right now, this right here, this Wold Keep, that literally we were the ones who even got this possible. I will not see another keep probably taken from Rohan ever see another keep taken from Rohan because they won't ever have the troops for it. We set this keep up perfectly to be taken. And then also they were like, "Oh, we'll get our troops there, no problem." All of the forts that you see right here were just ours. And then they swapped over right now to the EOHS guild, whatever. You know, they had swapped over and then they'd taken the keep and whatever. But up until that point, they were like it was just hard to communicate with people that weren't taking it seriously, and that was just mad to people like myself and Sir Chubbs that were trying to organize a whole faction. Now, given we came in with almost nothing, we weren't really prepared. Take that as it is, but we weren't really prepared. But we were trying our best to organize a faction that we had no idea was going to have this little of player base. And we had to look out a little bit for ourselves at this point and be like, are we about to sit here and get rolled over? Because there is no organizing this other faction or other fellowship. And then also at the same time battling out between factions that have millions of power. Astronomical. Even right now, just looking at Erebor, they're at 1,000,006. Hellwood's at 1,000,003. There was no fighting that with what are they at now? 283. We were gonna get rolled, and then people would quit. People would have quit too. On
And it
top
would have
of the
been just
283.
us. And it would
So
have been just us, just rolling around in a
just
4-man trying to make something happen.
so
You guys know this is as much as a numbers game in first season as it is now. And once more servers merge and more hardcore players continue to stay on to the games, that will change. But yeah, this was very much a numbers game, as much as season one was.
and don't get me wrong, it wasn't fun swapping factions. Like you see me, I'm lucky to be back at 13K. That's also because I also had like 3 commanders at 30 plus. Swapping is not fun either. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I also saw no profit in having 0 lands and not getting any rewards, because at the end of the day, guys, like, you have to look out for rewards. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that might sound cheesy, but if you're getting no rewards at the end of the season on top of getting all of your lands taken, not making the game fun, then what's the point, really, at that point of continuing to play if you're just going to see continuous downfall? Like, so, just, I hate to say it, but if you see something like this, just go ahead and swap. You know, like in our group of 4, you know, just go ahead and swap. I mean, just go ahead and bite the bullet. I mean, quite literally, you have to bite the bullet in this instance and just swap over, because, you know, the faction right now, there's buffs, and we're already getting a sizable contribution from the forts that they have of the significant structures, and, you know, already moving over. We're already catching back up to where we were anyway. So, and I was kind of sad about not using the marshals. Don't get me wrong. I was pretty excited because of Emerald Hill. So
we got Iron Warriors now.
We got Iron Warriors. We do have the Iron Warriors. And I know I've got the boy Thorin. So, but kind of to wrap things up, final thoughts. You know, just overall, we tried to play the politics game as best we could with 4 people. You know, and we know not everyone can play 24/7. So, there was no one. I think. Even with, I hate to say it, but even when Sir Chubby was doing bad, there was only one person doing better than him. And that's just kind of disappointing whenever you see 5 people in like the top 250, 300 people of the whole faction. So,
yeah, there was no reason why nobody, like most people couldn't beat me out for where I was, because I had the brilliant idea of starting Gimli. Word to the wise, don't do that.
Just start Gandalf. Like there's
start literally anyone else. Anyone else would be better than Gimli. But anyways, yeah, just start Gandalf.
Just start Gandalf. Like, pro tip, just start Gandalf the Grey. He is the best commander. I was even playing on my alt account, and I started Gandalf the Grey. You know, I had a really solid build for him. And he was competing with Faramir. I just didn't have as much time as I would like to as playing on my alt account as I could for that, for instance. But nonetheless, though, it's just start Gandalf the Grey. And if you don't have Gandalf, you know, high, Faramir is without a doubt the best person to start in blue tier. I will stick by that all day long because I've proved it nonetheless. But though that's besides the point. This is just a little update video on why we had the swap at the end of the day. And it's gonna be fun either way, to be honest, because now it's gonna be, instead of us having like forced PvP, you know, maybe like a little we fight you here thing, it's gonna be all out bloody conflict. And that is what I'm looking forward to nonetheless.
That's right.
Is all out bloody conflict. Because, you know, we're on the mixed server. I'm here for blood. That's the reason why we're here. I'm here to pair Corsairs with Arwen. You know, I want some fire damage. So it's gonna be fun nonetheless. Iron Warriors, Corsairs. You know, I'm even gonna get some elephants if I can get my hands on them, and I'm gonna run it down mid either way. So without further ado, guys, this is PvP my kids IRL.
This is Sir Tribulus.
This is Raging Z,
and we'll see y'all in the next one.